Okay, Project 3 notes on color and texture. We are going to start on color, and you have several different color shapes that you have to cut out. So before we start looking at the slide, please cut out all of those parts and unpause me when you are ready to start gluing them in. Okay, so the color wheel that we are going to look at is actually a 12-step color wheel, or a 12-color wheel. This shows the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. So we always still start with those three primary colors. So those three circles that you cut out, the red, the blue, and the yellow, go ahead and paste those into those three circles shown on your color wheel. From there, we remember that you have to add the secondary colors in between the two colors that are used to create them. So in between blue and red is going to be purple, in between red and yellow is going to be orange, and in between blue and yellow is going to be green. This is that traditional 6-color wheel that we've talked about in the years past. Go ahead and glue those squares down if you didn't already start. Okay, this is the part where we turn it into a 12-step color wheel. We add those tertiary colors. Those are listed on the bottom corner of your paper. They're named after the two colors that are used to create them, and they sit in between those two colors. So like number 1 over here is called red-purple. It's a triangle that sits in between red and purple. The triangle in between red and orange is called red-orange. You always start with the primary color first, and then you name the secondary color. I would like you to take your colored pencils now and create those colors by mixing, coloring lightly with red, coloring lightly with purple, and you will make a red-purple. Over here, color lightly with red, color lightly with orange. Down here, it's going to be color lightly with yellow, and then color lightly with orange, right inside box 3, or triangle 3. And continue doing that all the way around until you have filled in all of your colors. Go ahead and pause me while you do that. Unpause me when you are ready to move on. Okay, a couple things to note. The color wheel and the complementary colors still work on a 12-color color wheel. They're still the colors that are across from each other. Even these tertiary colors actually have complements as well. So like red-purple has this complement of yellow-green. If you think about it, yellow and purple are complements, red and green are complements, so it makes sense that those colors are across from each other and complementary as well. On your paper, you have the key with these lines here that show you those original 6 that we talked about for the last couple of years. The things that are not on this color wheel, however, are called neutral colors. This is your colors that are still useful when you are painting and drawing and making artworks, but they don't actually fall within that color wheel spectrum. These include black, white, gray, and brown. Doesn't matter what order you put them in on your paper, but go ahead and glue those 4 trapezoids into the box that says, or the puffy cloud shape that says neutral colors. And at that point, you have finished our notes on color, and you can flip over to the next page on texture. For texture, you will have to cut out 4 boxes, so go ahead and pause me now, unpause me when you are done doing the cutting and ready to start gluing. Okay, so texture is the look and or feel of a surface of a work of art. So if you touch a sculpture, it has a physical texture you can feel. If you look at a painting, it looks like there might be a texture of something in the painting. The real texture is the one you can physically touch. It cannot be drawn, it cannot be shown in a picture. You have to be able to physically touch it. But don't go to museums and physically touch stuff. Visual texture, on the other hand, looks like it would be able to feel, but you can't touch it. It's like a photograph of something or a drawing where you can't actually feel the texture that's being shown. It uses tricks and illusions to create them. Okay, so now that you've glued those 2 down, visual texture has 2 different types. It can become a simulated texture or it can be an invented texture. Simulated, you're just mimicking something that really exists. So sheet metal really exists. This is a thing that can be found in the world. This is a photograph. Invented texture, you just make up a pattern by repeating things over and over again, lines, shapes, whatever. It doesn't really have a texture, but it might feel like something if you actually had it in real life. Once you glue those two down, you have finished the notes for this project.